I think I might have been wrong about the Chicago Sky earlier on the year. And it wasn't necessarily that I was wrong with my actual evaluation of the team. But the way I said it was that this could be a 500 team. And they just simply put will not be a 500 team. They are severely flawed. There is a reason why they were considered to be the worst team coming into the season. That being said, I think a lot of what I said was correct about them as far as being positive about them. I think there's a reason why you can really like this team, but I think long term they just need more talent. They need more talent on this team if they want to be in any way successful. Before we get on, if you guys are new to the channel, subscribe. We are, oh my god, we're 34 subscribers away from hitting 8,000. Oh my god. I thought we were way higher than that. But yeah, if you guys are new to the channel, subscribe. It'd be greatly, greatly appreciated. But anyway, when it comes to the Chicago Sky, they were expected to be the worst team in the WNBA. The reason why they were expected to be the worst team in the WNBA is they don't necessarily have a lot of go-to scorers. They're not a particularly good shooting team. They are a very mediocre defensive team. They're a very weak team as far as guarding guards is concerned. And the only players that like really can actually lock, the only player that can lock up on defense is Angel Reese. And she can lock up a specific type of player. Again, brilliant rookie. But this was a team that was not expected to be good, and they're not very good. I thought at the start of the year, after watching a couple of games, especially when I watched them beat the Liberty, that I'm like, oh my god, these are dogs. They fight, they work as hard as they can, they're unbelievable rebounding team, and I'm like, they're going to will their way to a 500 winning record. They just don't have the talent to do it. They're 4-9 right now. Like, they were 3-2, they're now 4-9. So this is a team that is not good. They're really not good. Their offense, like if you want to give the ball to Cardoso has to fight to get the ball. She can finish around the rim. Cardoso is someone who will just turn around and score baskets. She's not someone you can give the ball to and tell her, go do something. She's somebody that finishes off plays. Angel Reese gets a lot of offensive boards. She's a really, really, really good offensive rebounder. And other than that on offense, she seals pretty well. That is the extent of Angel Reese's offensive game. She, a lot of times, throws her body into people and throws the ball up in the air. Sometimes she gets the foul call, other times she doesn't. But, like, even if sometimes there's hands there or a player's out of position, if you jump towards a player like Angel Reese does a lot, sometimes the referees aren't going to call it. And that is just the truth about her offensive game. Defensive game's incredible, very limited offensively. Then you've got Breanna Mabry, who just shoots anything. Sometimes she's hitting, sometimes she's not. She can score from anywhere, she can shoot from anywhere. She's an all-around good player. But again, she should be a second option on a team. She could be a second option on a pretty good team. She could be a third option on a great team. But she can't be the first option. And then you've got Kennedy Carter, who is a live wire. Kennedy Carter is the quickest player in this league. She can go downhill and beat anyone. She was burning Kelsey Mitchell constantly. She will burn anyone. Her finishing around the basket's really nice. Her mid-range game is good. Like, she's someone who is an all-star if there's not for the off-the-court issues. But when it comes to Kennedy Carter, she's better off the bench. As good as she was today, the team plays better with her off the bench because a lot of the time she's there for bench runs. And today, she was needed to go on that run to start the game, and they were still not ahead when she was getting subbed off. And then she tired out by the second half. I know she made some big plays down the stretch, but she was significantly worse in the second half than the first half. But this is a team where I'm like, I like everything about them. I think they have the right coach. I think their players are all being put in the best positions to succeed. I think they work hard. I think they are a team where if you watch them play, you're never going to be disappointed because they're always going to give 100%. There's just not enough talent there. And I thought maybe they had enough talent to win despite, like, I thought maybe it was like the talent gap wasn't big enough that they were going to start losing games. But I think Elizabeth Williams is a huge loss now. And as good as Cardoso is, the Angel Reese-Cardoso combination, even though statistics-wise they're doing pretty well, I don't feel like Cardoso playing 34 minutes is beneficial to the team. As good as Harrison's been, I don't think Cardoso playing so much is too beneficial to the team. Just because she is someone who's there just to finish off plays. They have one player that can create her own shot. Like, Breanna Mabry is just going to shoot anything, but like they have one player who can like kind of ISO up people, create her own shot, and it's a black hole in Kennedy Carter. So this is a team where it's like, you can never question the work rate. You can never question, I don't think you can really, I was about to say, today you can question the coaching with the way they defended pick and rolls. They didn't blitz, they didn't hedge, they didn't play drop coverage. They literally went somewhere in between a hedge and drop coverage and left the freaking gap in the middle for Caitlin Clark to throw the bounce pass every single possession. Today, they went out with the worst game plan I've ever seen. Let's not put any pressure on Caitlin Clark as ball handler. Let's make Caitlin Clark look like a mixture between, let's make her look like a mixture between prime Dame Lillard and prime Steve Nash. Let's just let her do whatever the hell she wants. How many times did an Indiana Fever player drive to the basket and just keep their dribble alive, and just find someone open? Their defense today, and I don't think it's as far as individual defenders being bad, was the worst thing in the world, but their defensive philosophy today was terrible. Their game plan was awful. And this is a team that they play with emotion. Today they've clearly played the occasion, not the game. And otherwise, even when Kennedy Carter's not on the floor, they have a really bad tendency to dig themselves a 15-point deficit. Kennedy Carter comes on, single-handedly gets them back into the game, and then she tires out and they lose in a close one. In there, they've lost 5 games in a row and 6 of their last 7. They have not been blown out once this year. They've not been blown out once. But at the end of the day, they're not a good team. I genuinely was someone in my comment section goes, it doesn't matter that Caitlin Clark won this game. Angel Reese is a winner. Her team is trying to win a championship. They don't care about one game. And I'm like, dude, they're 4-9. They're the same record as the Sparks. They have the same record as teams in they're down in the tankathon. They are literally in the tankathon. They're not good. They're terrible, in fact, as compared to some teams. They have, and the fact that they have cohesion, they have teammates that will jump in front of a bullet for each other. Everything you want as from a chemistry standpoint, they have. They're just bad. And that's not on the coach. It's not on the players, because they just don't have enough talent. Simply put, there's not enough talent on this team to win more than 7. If they win 17 games, it's a massive success. It is a massive success if they win 17 games this year. Right now, they're 4-9 through 40 games. So they're 4-9 through 13 games. So what? They're a third of the way through the season, and they're on track to win 12 to 13 games. If they win 17, it will be a crazy, crazy thing, because they have a tougher second half of the season. Their wins have come against the Mystics before the Mystics won a game. The Sparks, who aren't particularly good either. The Wings, who absolutely suck. And in fairness, they had the one exceptional win against the Liberty. And when I made the video talking about them, it was right before the win against the Liberty, and I look like a genius. But right now, the more I'm watching the team, the more I'm like, look, I don't dislike any of the... Well, I kind of... I want to see them lose. I really do want to see them lose. I'm not going to lie. But at the same time, wanting to see them lose doesn't mean that it changes my thoughts on this team. Because I think that Angel Reese is great at her role. I think Cardoso is great at her role. I think Mabry's really good at her role. I think Kennedy Carter's really good at her role. In an ideal situation, they just have a guard. If you put an actual, legitimate number 1 option guard on this team, or wing on this team, they're really, really good. Diamond DeShields, I don't know what the hell's happened to Diamond DeShields, but she doesn't even look like a competent player, let alone a former All-Star. But if you were able to put, say, it's hard to even get an All-Star level guard, just even a really good guard, a better guard, a better wing than, let's just say you get a wing beside the two bigs inside. Mabry's your second option. You have another wing who's your best option, and you keep starting Dana Evans, and you're able to bring Kennedy Carter off in her best role, which is 6 man. That's a team. That's a 500 team. But then you take away the first option and turn Marina Mabry, who's a pretty good second option, elite third option, into a first option. You turn Angel Reese into someone who actually has to contribute on the offensive end, when, let's be real, her main, she's someone who can contribute in offensive rebounding. She can will her way to 10 points a game. She can will her way to maybe 15 points a game. but she's not someone you can give the ball to and say, go get me a score. Neither is Camila Cardoso. These are players that, because of the level of this team, are being expected to do things that realistically isn't their best asset. And this is a team that I like. I like the way they play. I don't particularly like the team. I like the way they play. I like their coach. I think they're a couple of pieces away, and I actually think that because they're Chicago, because people like Angel Reese, they will attract free agents, and people probably really like this coach as well, I would assume. And they are a couple of pieces away from being good, but whereas the Fever have the talent, if the Sky had the talent level that the Fever had, the Sky would be a playoff team, a comfortable playoff team, just because of the way they play, how they're coached. Problem is, like, the Fever are the opposite team. The Fever are a team that don't look like they have any team chemistry. They have a terrible coach, and they just don't really gel together. Whereas the Sky is like a really good team, a really good chemistry-wise team, just not much talent. So anyway, yep, that is the video. Let me know what you guys think. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.